almost time. Di and Heather scouted the village last night. They're rounding up the rest of the party now.
Sounds, interesting.
Don't worry. Everyone remembers the raid was your idea. The Rio had to go along with it after you'd gotten the rest of the clan riled up. No one wants it said that the Nine Claws were too cowardly to stand with the rest of the tribe when the owners desecrated our ruins. The tribes need more leaders like you. Women who value deeds over words. You were right. They were too soft when the foreigners first came, and now they humiliate us. We'll be soft no more, and the invaders will learn to leave us alone once and for all.
Nice.
I've got it. Finished.
There we go.
No. Keep away from us. Leave us!
A large, liver-spotted man, barrel-chested and paunchy, cowers in the far corner of the room, his white hair a tangled stringy mess. He covers his face and chest with trembling hands, unable to look in your direction.
Maybe we should come back later?
He looks up over his hand, the muscles around his eyes twitching, and begins whispering to himself in sharp hisses, as though having an argument. All at once he stops shaking, a sudden calmness falling over him. His head tilts forward slightly, and he looks you dead in the eye, like a cornered animal about to pounce. His voice turns suddenly raspy.
Mayor Wald isn't here, and he isn't fooled. He has sent for no callers. Be gone, deceiving spirit.
Mayor Wald will speak with you, but you will maintain your distance, or you'll have me to answer to.
The old man turns his body away and has another muttered, sputtering argument, facing the wall. When he turns back around toward you, he has taken a confident stance, and his chest is puffed out like a soldier's. A new strength enters his voice.
Come to speak to Mayor Wald?
The man's posture falls, and his hands, and the hands he held strongly at his side a moment ago resume their original tremors. His voice is feeble and tentative.
A window to the ether, where spirits dwell. Hear and reach into it, speak and listen through it. A watcher sees souls, reads them, knows their pasts, souls of the living, souls of the dead, in empath, and the souls see them back. Used it to help beings in both realms, did I? What the gods wanted of me, thought I. The gods put me in the world for vengeance, and I obliged.
It was the gods' wishes that we protect those lands. My way was the only way to remove the foreigners.
Little I knew. No. No! Forgive me! Forgive me! Lost? No. Found more of it. Too much. Too much to bear. An awakening. Something reminds. Memories stirred. Memories before birth. Other bodies. Other times. Memory. Personality. Identity. Any might resurface. Or all.
And I'm speaking to a lot of Mayor Wald.
Ghosts of the mind. Mayor Wald has lost control. Mayor Wald's body no more. Spirits and not spirits. Always whispering to Mayor Wald, reminding him of his mistakes. No sleep. Watchers see memories before them, form them from the essence of their own soul. Once Meowald awakened, he could not make them leave. Gave them more form, not less. Troubled memories, angry memories, pulling Meowald back, reminding him his mistakes. Marauder and soldier, soldier and marauder, how could they know? Fragmented are memories, stuck in time, mindless, cruel, never far. My fault, all my fault. Soldier and marauder, soldier and marauder and Meowald. No forgiveness for what's past. No undoing what's done. No sleep. No sleep for the Watcher. War there was all around. War of stone, war of tree.
Thanks
Death
for that, Connor.
brought to the settler men. We, the 9 claws. Claws of 9. Worse what we did to the women. For love of the gods. The gods' love. For their love.
Hold her down. Head her. Give this Hattie a bitch an heir that belongs in Air Glotfath.
Yeah, this would be difficult to bear, having to relive things you did in a past life that were unbearable, horrible, heinous at times, and you see them forevermore, and they become a part of you in your new life. That's
The boy.
painful.
The boy. The baby boy. The boy. Conceived in the raid. Conceived by force. Vessel for Marauder. Slain in the raid. Marauder and the boy. Marauder and soldier. For the soul. A Marauder's soul. Same soul. One soul. Boy's soul. Marauder's soul. Raised in lies and vengeance. Raised to soldier. Raised for the fire. Born for the fire.
You'll get no pity from me. The crimes of the 9 Claws clan in the last war are still unavenged. But the gods are just. They have led me here. In my father's name, every one of you will burn. Light it.
Soldier and marauder, lies and vengeance, and dead villages. All dead. All dead. What for? What for?
Yeah, I'm not sure we're meant to know. I don't think awakenings are something you're supposed to have happen, since their effect is obviously catastrophic.
How little we know.
Tears well in Meryl's eyes. Oh no. No, no. You too? You too. All at once, in spite of his abject misery, his expression changes to one of utmost sympathy. Poor woman. Poor woman.
They will take you too. So fragile the Watcher's mind. So real his memories. Once awakened, how can he sleep? You were reminded of it. Strong memories, lingering lives, they dwell near the surface, waiting to be remembered, waiting to take your mind for their own. Meowald sat at his hearth and watched his fire, watched the wood burn. Then came the memory of another fire and burning wood and screams. always remembered. Can't forget, can't unsee. Keys of lead, books of burden, queens that were. Known to me are they, the leaden key. Secrets, secrets, and deceptions, and schemes. Who knows their answers? Not they. Not they. Crossed them before. Hatred of watchers, hatred and fear. Much we see. Threat to secrets.
And this queen...
Boudica, goddess, crown shattered, and body burned. Binder of oaths and grudge holder. Bearer of justice. But whose? City of defiance. Never far from the queen. Many secrets do they keep. Unawakened? Mayhap. Who else if not they? Sleep well. Sleep well.
Hold! I know your will die. Your actions were seen. You would sooner betray us to the Adir land thieves than take orders from me. Your betrayal is for nothing. Your warnings are lost on these foreigners, and their blood will be Gallowayne's tribute this night. I have asked the elders for the honor of claiming your head as my first trophy, and they have granted it. Beg for the Seeker God to grant you a quick death.
And then we have to fight Merwald. How sad. A man who spent many years being tortured by his past lives, only to die at our hand. And this is unavoidable, as far as I'm aware. You can't not kill him. There is a change in the air of the keep. What was thick and suffocating feels to you somehow more breathable, as though yielding to a conquering invader. Merwald's body lies inert. You can feel his soul lingering there, uncertain. There is something unique about this soul in this place, a bond formed in decades of inhabitants and lordship that feels somehow palpable to you. As though even in death the keep knows its former master, and the former master remembers his keep. And then I get to speak to the Reckless thing. In your mind's eye, the bond seems to be a frayed rope, ghostly and alive, its frayed ends writhing like tadpole anemones, and you find that if you concentrate on it, you have the ability to manipulate its strands. So we can either siphon knowledge, so basically absorb what knowledge Merwald had, severing it to allow him to move on from the world and such, or we can repair the rope and binding Merwald's soul here as an eternal warden. Now, the most ethical one, I suppose, is probably to free him from this world. However, I've done these two, that getting the knowledge, it only gives you an extra bit of knowledge, but nothing of great importance, and it kind of seems rude to just suck him up, basically. Severing the rope lets his spirit go free, so I just want to see what putting him here as the Eternal Warden will do. The frayed pieces twist and fuse, and as the bond strengthens, the fibers become metal, and the rope becomes a chain. Yorta's Merwald's soul recedes into the floor, melding with it, spreading thin across it until it is one with the entire place, a silent guardian.
I've got it.
Because of course you speak to the steward and such, but now that you've bonded his spirit with the place as well, I assume she'll also be able...
Don't want to discuss
it. They probably have to communicate with each other. Will you see his spirit or anything, or will he just be in the walls and such to protect the place? Because honestly, I don't know, like I said, that's the one I never did. Which is why I wanted to do it. And he seems more interested because he lived here for so many years, he built the place up and helped out and everything, so this was his home, like even in afterlife he remembered it and was still here. So honestly...
Hey, you're right. No sense listening to that old bam pot.
Damned Virago, not now!
Yeah. Anyway, so it just seems right that he becomes a warden here and protects it, even in death, since, you know, he spent so long suffering, you know, that he can at least be at some sort of peace now, even if it is trapped in these walls. However, like the steward said, that even though she's trapped in a throne per se, she can feel the entire keep around her, whether it's the throne or the keep itself. There's something magical about it all that lets them communicate.
I felt Mayor Wald's passing. You slew him. It saddens me to hear it, but part of me is grateful to no longer have to wait and worry in darkness. This place has always known its master, long as it's had one. It has a will all its own, which has little to do with the castle and much to do with the land it's built on. It looks to you as Mayor Wald's successor now, whether you care for it or not. A dubious honor, inheriting a fortress both broken and cursed. But in the right hands, it could be so much more. If you had only seen it in its day. Will you stay?
No matter what you choose, you do get it. So, might as well just embrace it. You feel that same emanation of warmth and energy in the air. Then it is yours, my lady. I cannot begin to tell you how glad that is, how good it is to know that the keep is in capable hands once again. I suppose I should mention first that if you mean to travel to Defiance Bay for supplies, there has been a complication of a kind. The Eastern Barbican collapsed decades ago, and Marwold never got around to rebuilding it. The road here is a dead end. He got as far as gathering materials before he became preoccupied. I could make arrangements to have it repaired, if it is your will. When it ceased to be the previous master's will, I became powerless to do anything about it. So what am I but the master's instrument? It would take time, but far less than finding another route to Defiance Bay. So basically, yeah, you tell her what to do and she gets it done somehow. I don't know how, but, you know, magic. Why, there are many responsibilities involved in maintaining a keep. The extent to which you wish to get involved is entirely up to you, of course. Part of the reason I am here is to ensure that things run smoothly in your absence, provided we have been given instruction. If you instruct me on which repairs you wish to conduct next, I will make the necessary arrangements. These may take some time to finish, but each will provide you with additional resources once they are complete. Given somewhere to place them, we can hire tradesmen to provide you with supplies or ingredients. Repairing the keep will raise your prestige and draw both helpful individuals and unwelcome attention from bandits and opportunists. If we can raise the keep's security in turn, these will become less of a concern. You should know, however, that the position does come with some risk. Your name will grow in fame, and you must contend with threats to the keep. And then, there are other things. Risks. Merwood's curse was his own, a watcher's curse, but his predecessors have not fared better. There is a presence within the keep, or rather, far beneath it. At least such has been the conclusion drawn by all who have come to this place. For what spirits still linger in the endless paths oft speak of a master below. Every effort to settle here has failed. From the time of our adhering colonists onward, beasts rise from the endless paths until the new lord or lady is no more. The one who dwells below, this master, does not tolerate rivals, it seems. I have seen from time to time intrepid explorers descend to lay claim to what answers they can, but none return. This is the farce which has kept Sir Nua a barren ruin, and robbed me of my hopes. Yes, I know that's what you're after. So repair. Merwold set aside materials for the Barbican. and they are still available to you. In the future, if you wish to make further repairs to the keep, we will need coin for supplies and labour. So I need to go find this queen then. You must know that this queen you're looking for. Defiance Bay has no queen. The Merquins of Edir haven't reigned here since the war. The only queen with any power there is Wodaka. I am told they erected an exquisite temple in her honour there, but I was never able to see it. If you mean to go there, we can get started right away on repairing the Barbican. You need only tell me what you wish to do, and I'll make the necessary arrangements. Merwold kept a ledger as it happens, and I have taken the liberty of updating it. You could take a look if you wish. Then we'll get underway at once. You know, my lord, that this is but the first and least of a great many undertakings. The keep supported a great many buildings and servants for many years. If you should wish it, we can repair some of the outlying structures, and these will bring you wealth and recognition, drawing people to your service. Rebuilding the defences will keep your grounds from being overrun, as they did under Merwold's keeping. You need not choose all at once. I am pledged to your aid, and so long as you are master here, we should always be linked. You need not step upon these grounds to speak to me. Wherever your travels may take you, you can make your will known to me, if you but reach out. Oh, but first, of course, the Barbican. So boom, now we have the upgrades for our stronghold. So of course the Barbican, it's completely free because the materials are already here, convenient. But then of course there's the western one, Bright Hollow itself, which is, you know, our basically home. Then the Bane Keep, which is where we are now, with the Great Hall and stuff, and the Bailey, towers, South Curtain Wall, West Curtain Wall, library, barracks, dungeons, merchant stalls, craft, curio shop, artificer's hall, chapel, farm, grounds, botanical garden, hedge maze, warden, and then some Bright Hollow. It's out of a unique thing they'll do. So the walls offer protection, so that'll get your security up basically. Then the towers and such will give you bonuses when you rest at Bright Hollow. The main keep obviously allows you to have visitors, adventurers to you and such. Bright Hollow is where you rest, so you get to stay here, like rest here, instead of using camping materials. You'll just do it for free and get whatever bonuses it is you choose. The library gives you a law bonus and such. The barracks allows you to employ hirelings to protect your stronghold. The dungeon allows you to take prisoners in your travels, so you can keep them there and do what you will with them. The merchant store gives you a merchant who you can trade with. Then of course, you know, the same part for the shop, craft hall and such. And the chapel gives you a priest that you can purchase scrolls from and resolve and such. And the forum obviously gives you an intellect bonus. Trading grounds give you might bonus. Technical garden gives you a random plant every turn. Hedge maze gives you a bit more security. Warden's Lodge gives you security, prestige and such, but it also gives you a bonus survival skill and gives you access to the Warden, who can offer bounties. Now I think this is a pretty important one to get as soon as possible, because these bounties will give you 1,000, 2,000 copper or so per bounty. So if you do all the bounties, you can quite easily get loads of copper, because it takes a lot of copper to do each upgrade. You know, 1,000, 1,500, 1,400, such, and the better ones are more expensive, of course. So it's good to get the Warden's Lodge as soon as possible, like make it the second or third upgrade you get, because then you can just get loads of money straight away off it just by doing the bounties, and the bounties usually go and kill this over there. So you go to that location, you kill whatever it is, and boom, you get a load of copper. It's a lot simpler than doing missions or trying to trade and stuff, because trading would take you ages, and doing all the other main quests and side quests and stuff are a lot more difficult. You encounter more enemies and stuff, where this is just go to that area, kill whoever's there, come back. Pretty easy. And then of course you can get more over time and such. So that's probably one of the best to get, but of course we have to do the Eastern Barbican first. It's that you have to pick it, whether you like it or not. But yeah, so you get hirelings here that you can have. This is where you manage your party. You can have up to 6 people, and then anyone else you have who isn't in your main party goes on the roster. Now, there are sometimes actions and quests that appear at your keep here, where people ask of things and such, and then you can send a companion to go and deal with it, and then you'll get some rewards afterwards if they do well. So it's definitely interesting, and obviously the more prestige you get, the more visitors you'll get and stuff who are offering things and help or whatever, and then you'll get more, you need more security because you're more likely to be attacked by bandits, and you get tax, of course, because being the lord of this area, you get tax from all the people who live here, but of course that tax can be raided by bandits and such, so you need security to help make sure you get your money. Because you'll probably see it as you travel around at first, like when you've just done this, it'll say you received this much in tax, and then this much was raided by bandits, probably all of it, and such, and you're like, well, what the... And that's why you need to upgrade it. You can just access it here no matter where you are in the world, but that's why you need to get these upgrades and such, and get more security and everything, because you actually need to have, you know, people protecting the area in order for you to be able to get your taxes, because of course the bandits will just raid them as soon as they're on the road. And like you can see, this whole place is run down, the buildings have collapsed, the Great Hall's covered in cobwebs and dirt and all that. But of course as you upgrade it, it'll look a lot nicer and stuff, and more people will come, and then you'll see people wandering around the grounds and stuff. So it's definitely, you know, interesting, and I do like this, because of course you are your own person, you make your own story and such, but then, you know, you have your own keep as well, so people come to you saying, my lady or my lord or whatever, we are having problems with such, are you able to help in that? And then you send a companion to go and take care of it or whatever, and you know, that kind of thing, and it's interesting. And then there is a quest related to it where a guy's like...
Scholar lad.
I beg your pardon?
Nothing. I said nothing.
Yeah. There's a quest basically related to it where a guy is like, you don't own that it belongs to my family legally. You know, you can't just keep it for yourself just because you showed up there. So then of course you have to go into a little bit of a battle about trying to keep your keep, because technically you're not supposed to own it or anything, but then again you have looked after it and such, and the guy who it technically belongs to hasn't done anything in a long time to it. He hasn't even bothered going to it, so of course he says it's his, but he has made no effort to look after it before now. He's just being, you know, stubborn and doesn't want someone else having it, which is funny because Mayor Wald's looked after it for goodness knows how long and nobody knew about him, but as soon as I take over, oh, it's big news. And now we can meet our next companion, just down here. Here we go.
Hush, Itumak. We'll just wait a little longer.
A dwarven woman dressed in skins and hide leans against the road marker. Her face is turned down, her eyes darkened by a thick stripe of face paint. She's sharpening a bow and arrowhead with a scrimshaw-handled knife. Her attention, however, is focused on a bare figure in between her feet. A large white-furred fox standing at her heels looks up at you, at your approach.
Easy, Itumak. It's not him.
It'd be flattering, but not him. She lifts her head and looks at you. No argument there. It's just not you I'm looking for.
Short version? I'm looking for a very, very old friend. I'm not sure what skin he's wearing now, but I'll know him when I see him.
Probably not the most productive thing you could do is stand here. Perhaps not, but running around all over Darewood hasn't done me much good so far. Your friend is supposed to meet you here?
Heard. Of course, the man who told me so was carrying a staff he claimed was made from dragon bone, but I know Whitewood when I see it. That should have been my first clue. but I had to try something. The
Try
long version.
something.
Here we go. I'm from an island to the far south called Nasitok. I came here looking for a village elder, a man we knew as Persok. I'm a hunter back home, so tracking someone wouldn't normally be a problem. But Persok's trail is cold, to say the least.
5 years. She spent 5 long years in this strange land looking for this dude. He died when I was a little girl, I forgot to mention that part, did I? I'm looking for his latest reincarnation, which could be anyone. Well, that's, you know...
That about sums it up. Then you have my sympathies. Hopefully you've got a better lead than I do. True enough. But first I should explain about the figurine.
She adjusts the figurine on her chest, raise it to her small flat palm. A bear, smooth and round, the polished edge is worn to a dull mat along its arched back and ovoid hunches. A soft glow emanates from
Cute,
within.
isn't it? It belonged to Persok. Before he returned to the wheel, he left a splinter of his soul in it. Something to help us find him later.
As she holds it up to you, feel with her sensation, not quite memories, but traces
When I
of
left
someone.
Nasitok, it was completely dark inside. But as I've gotten closer to Persok, it's glowed steadily brighter. Since I've reached the Deerwood, however, it's gotten hard to read. Some days it flickers and goes dark. Others it shines nice and bright. For a few hours. But most of the time, it looks just like this. I can tell you what I won't do again. Rely on miracle peddlers. It was some so-called watcher who sent me to this crossroads in the middle of nowhere in the first place. I was on my way out of the Balmarsh when I heard talk of a traveling mystic who could supposedly see souls. I knew it was a long shot, but what did I have to lose? I went to see this fellow and gave him the Audra figurine. He made a big show of moaning and rolling his eyes, and after I'd given him 5 golden dukes to lift the shroud, he told me to seek the crossroads in the field between the Wolf's Lair and the twining trees. He thought he was being vague, but I know the area well enough to recognize that he meant this place, right between Defiance Bay and Twin Elms. I had a bad taste in my mouth, but my coin was spent and I'd already left an arrow in his knapsack as a friendly warning. Told him I'd come back and leave him with another if it turned out he was giving me the runaround. I've been here a week now. Guess he had the last laugh after all.
Wouldn't kill him over a couple of gold pieces. People have killed for less. You know. May I see the figurine? Why
Fine.
not?
But if you try to run, just remember that my arrows are faster.
Like, why should I? Like, because why not? 5 years, you've been here a week. What have you got to lose by giving me the figurine? Standing on a cliff overlooking the water, seeing through eyes that aren't your own, you catch the musk of beasts amidst the fresh scent of vegetation, and your heart beats a little faster. You have to watch your step up here. You look down just long enough to see the sharp, pale cliffs drop into the water hundreds of feet below you. If you had perception, you know.
What are you talking about? What just happened?
If you've seen the way she says it, dead things, you know she's serious. Like, come on, it was one time. One time I stared at a dead dwarf. Come on. Don't act like it's a common occurrence, it's mostly just nothing.
You realize I've got no coin to give you, even if I did believe you. If this is your idea of a joke, you may be stuck with me for a while. Lead the way.
Hey, now we have another companion, and she's got a cool wolf, too. Which is great. Boom. And the gang's all together. Yay. Acolyte's Radiance. Okay, so Garni, obviously she's a dwarf, pretty small. So yeah, she has her own unique bow, that Masuk hunting bow. It's not too different from a normal bow. I think it's only like 1 or 2 more damage, if that. And then her secondary is a dagger and a hatchet. Pretty cool. So she's long range as well. So yeah, that's why she's at the back. But I think she's quite interesting. She's got 50 might, 30 intelligence, 17 perception, and perception is pretty good. She's level 4, which will be when we level up everyone else. But yeah, so now we have an interesting group. We have a ranger, chanter, priest, fighter, wizard, and then me as a barbarian. So, got a whole lot of weird stuff, you know. But it's nice how some of the interesting characters, and like I said, that they all put in their own, you know, opinions about stuff and such. Most of it's rubbish and stuff, you don't need to pay much attention, but it's nice to hear what they have to say, you know. Just gotta level everyone up now. Okay. Let's go. I know where to go to get to the cliffs in the vision, but I'm not going there yet, because the way there is a little bit too dangerous at the moment. Since you have to go through like a million mobs to get there first. But this is the interesting thing, how it just gives you, it just says cliffs. So, okay, looking for some cliffs. Now, if you use perception, then it'll say that you can smell the seawater. So you know you're not over here at Twin Elms or anything near waterfalls or rivers or anything. You're near the ocean, the sea, which, I mean, it'd have to be anyway if it was a cliff, really. Because the only other place that it could be is just there south of Derford Village where that waterfall is and such. But that's not like a several 100-foot drop, really. So yeah, it is just south of Defiance Bay, and the way to get there is to go south from Woodend Plains, then it'll take you to another place, and then you go west from there across, like just south of where like Brackenberry is, and a little cliff edge there. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, you see these people with the gold dialogue options, that's you know, the backers and stuff and the developers and stuff put in unique characters named after people, stuff like that, or that they created, something like that. That's why they have that gold little dialogue box, which means you can reach out as such to their soul, which you can't do with regular people, and then it'll give you a better story about their character and such, which is interesting. But, I mean, whatever. I mean, I don't think there's like, as far as I'm aware, there isn't an achievement for finding all of them or anything. You can just get some interesting story about some characters, really. But there's no point in looking at all of them. Just look at some of them, I guess, or whatever, or don't look at any of them. It's up to you. I'm not gonna talk to any of them and reach out to their soul. it's a bit of a waste of time,
Defiance
honestly.
Bay. The city at the heart of the Deerwoods Revolution now seems on the brink of another. Refugees line the streets, homeless and hungry, displaced by Whitewood's legacy, hoping for relief within the city walls, and finding none. Dissidents congregate to protest and to heckle, calling for an end to animancy and the ouster of their duke. The city's militiamen cast fearful looks as they patrol the streets, their hands trembling in the hilts of their weapons. The capital of a country that had not long ago incinerated a god now appears to be a spark away from sharing the deity's fate.
Nice place. Could've stayed home, I guess. Better than being here.
Those walls surround the whole city?
Yep. St. Fox, the expedition, dormitory, catacombs, Brackenbury first series, like a sort of like, I don't know, like a guild as such. You go to do the pub, call it a tavern. That's the word I'm looking for in this situation. Where you can get a room and such, which will give you some sort of bonus, but for a price. So camping's probably better, honestly. But, you know, whatever. And it's an interesting. But, yeah. Check those one. A woman sits by herself, spinning something on the table in front of her and watching it with furious intensity. It's at the sides of a coin and it wobbles over a crack in the wood with a metallic rattle. She's noticed it over the one hand and slams a half-empty cup down on the table with another. This is not a good time. You look like you could use another drink. I'll get there. She takes a long drink from her glass, just trying to calm down and trying to talk myself out of something foolish. She says nothing for a few moments as if hoping you'll leave. At last, Kirana looks up at you and lamplight falls across her face. A purpling bruise is blossoming along her cheekbone. There's something I need to give to my fiancé, Persnick, only he doesn't seem to go anywhere without his new friend, and they're not exactly pleasant company. You gave her the old wallop in the face, huh? She shakes her head. I know how this looks, but you don't understand. It's not like Persnick. It's these new friends of his. They've brought out the worst in him. So what about these new friends, huh? They come into our house with their dead eyes and their black teeth. I'm not a fool. I know what it means. Persnick makes me leave when they show up, but it's obvious what they come to do. Last time they came, I told them to get out, let them have their fun somewhere in the gift, but not under my roof. She scowls and then winces, her fingertips gently probing the bruise. Sveth changes you, I guess. The Persnick I knew wouldn't have squashed a spider, never thought he'd. She trails off, still feeling the swollen, discoloured flesh. I thought Sveth just made people lay around not doing much. I don't really know. Seemed better than believing he's always been this way. I got what I'll do for you. Her hand rests on the table and she clenches into a white knuckled fist. There's nothing more to say to him. We're finished. I just wanted to give this back to him and have a clean break. She opens her hand and a ring clatters onto the table. It was his grandmother's. Even after this, I don't have the heart to sell it off. If I go back there myself, I know what'll happen. I'll lose my temper, I'll probably wind up with another one of these. She points to a bruise. I'll take it to Persnick then. She looks at you and nods. The house just north of here, just please don't hurt him. As furious as I am, I don't want that on my conscience. Or we'll do nothing more. The guy who runs the place. Well, this seems like as good a place as any to end we've made it to Florence Bay. We now have our own keep. We've got two new companions, technically. A dwarf and a wolf, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, got a couple of quests to do here. We've got quite a few quests actually. There's dozens here, and all different ways to play it. But yeah, might as well end it in the tavern, have a drink and such, and listen to the music and relax. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining this stream. If you like, remember to like, subscribe, turn notifications on, all the usual stuff. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching, and